8 decades after the atomic bomb that devastated Nagasaki, the city marked a solemn milestone today. For the first time since 1945, both bells of the Immaculate Conception or Urakami Cathedral rang together. One of the original bells survived the blast, but its twin was lost. Funded by American Catholics after a year-long campaign, the new bell was installed earlier this year. It chimed at 11:02 a.m. local time, the exact moment the US dropped the Fat Man plutonium bomb that killed around 74,000 people by that year's end. Nearly 100 countries joined the commemoration, including Russia and Israel, both returning after years of absence. Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba laid a wreath at Peace Park. Let's listen in to what the Japanese Prime Minister had to say at the memorial.
広島に投下されたものを上回る威力のプルトニウム型爆弾によって7万人とも言われる人々の命と未来が一瞬にして奪われ、その多くは一般市民の方々でした。80年を経た現在、核軍縮をめぐる国際社会の分断が深まり、極めて厳しい安全保障環境に直面をいたしております。しかし、いかに険しい状況にあろうとも、唯一の戦争被爆国として、非核三原則を堅持しつつ、核戦争のない世界、そして核兵器のない世界の実現に向けた国際社会の取り組みを主導していくことこそが、我が国の使命であり、一歩一歩着実に努力を積み重ねます。
Well, joining us on the programme to discuss this memorial, comments made at it, the people visiting, but also warnings amidst current ongoing conflicts. Dr. Tomohiki Taniguchi, who is the former advisor to Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, who's joining us live from Tokyo, Japan. Dr. Taniguchi, thank you ever so much for taking the time to speak with us. We've just heard words there from Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba. What are your thoughts on this day, 80 years on, from that devastating bomb that hit Nagasaki?
The first thing that I just want to say is that it's been an established custom in India that parliamentarians gather and pray for the victims of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, either on the 6th of August or the 9th of August. No other nation in the world has done anything like that, which is a goodwill gesture towards the Japanese people. And I should say that many in Japan have been greatly appreciative of that. Now, certainly Japan has been the sole and only wartime victim of nuclear detonation. What's ironic is that over the last 80 years, and in the future as well, Japan has been and will continue to be under the nuclear umbrella provided by the very country that devastated both Hiroshima and Nagasaki. That is a bitter piece of irony that the people in Japan, and for that matter, the rest of the world, must continue to live with.
Yes, absolutely. Dr. Taniguchi, how does this event, both Hiroshima and Nagasaki, how were these devastating events remembered by people of Japan? How is this day celebrated but also acknowledged? Could you provide some context for us?
The thing is, it's a little bit inaudible, but nonetheless, if I may say, Hiroshima was for uranium detonation and Nagasaki for plutonium detonation. The United States certainly wanted to test, quote unquote, both nuclear bombs. And by the time the United States dropped the first bomb on Hiroshima on the 6th of August 1945, the nation had been devastated, and the nation was just about to announce its surrender to the Allied powers. So in retrospect, those nuclear bombs, strategically speaking, were not so much necessary, were not necessary. Nonetheless, in order for Japan to survive the cruel Cold War period, Japan chose to ally with the United States. And now you're facing with even more uncertain and precarious surroundings around Japan. So the value of nuclear umbrella, the extended deterrence, has gained even more salience. How ironic, isn't it? But that's the reality.
Yes, and how significant is it that both leaders from Russia and Israel have attended after years of not attending these memorial services?
Again, I can barely hear what you have said.
Apologies.
Still,
apologies.
if I may continue. Right. If I may continue, if you can, assuming you can hear me all right. In that sense, Prime Minister Ishiba, with all due respect, has said 3 no principles, including not allowing any nuclear arsenal to enter Japan's territories. That's controversial because you have Russia, North Korea, China. Never before have these countries become so much powerful as regards nuclear capabilities, nuclear weapons capabilities. So it's now time for the United States and Japan to store nuclear weapons so that they could jointly manage the deterrence capacities. But to say that Japan is going to adhere to these 3 no nuclear principles, there will be no room for such discussions. And I think that's disappointing.
Yes, and Dr. Taniguchi, of course, the local mayor has warned about current conflicts that are ongoing and the risk of further nuclear war. As you mentioned earlier, this is the last instance of a nuclear weapon being used in this way. Do you think that those warnings are realistic, and what needs to be done globally to avoid another nuclear bomb being used?
The non-nuclear regime, non-proliferation regime, non-proliferation regime, I think those regimes still are very much important. And I think as a nation that's gone through these tragic experiences, Japan must continue to hoist the banner of no nuke. But at the same time, Tokyo, Japan, must continue to be very much realistic in thinking about the international situation. And I think that's to be repeated.
Yes, absolutely. And Dr. Taniguchi, as we bring this discussion towards an end, what do you think is next for the people of Japan in terms of acknowledging this moment, but also understanding the impact that it's had on hundreds of thousands of lives that were lost, so many families that were affected? Is the right thing being done, do you think, from the global perspective, or do you want more to be done for that acknowledgement?
I am so sorry, but I cannot hear you exactly. But using my informed guess, the question is about the reactions from the Japanese people. For the last 80 years, the Japanese collectively have swallowed this bitterness, tragedy, and that's been a national experience, and it's been told and retold to the next generation without provoking anger, without encouraging the Japanese to be very much angry towards anyone. So in such a pacific, calm way, they buried, if you like, the collective memory of pain and blood, sweat, and tears.
Dr. Tomohiko Taniguchi, thank you ever so much for